The starship Eclipse drifted silently through the void, its hull reflecting the faint light of a distant sun. On board, Dr. Elara Voss, a xenobiologist, stared at the holographic display in her quarters. The data streaming in from the planet below was unlike anything she had ever seen. The planet, designated as X-427, was home to the Klyvarians, a highly advanced alien species with a culture steeped in rituals and traditions. Elara had been sent to study their society, but she never expected to become a part of it. The Klyvarians were humanoid in appearance, with shimmering opalescent skin and elongated limbs. Their eyes, large and luminous, seemed to hold the wisdom of centuries. They communicated through a combination of melodic vocalizations and intricate hand gestures, which Elara had spent months learning. Despite their advanced technology, the Klyvarians placed immense value on their ancient customs, one of which was about to change Elara's life forever. The accident. It happened during a routine survey mission. Elara was collecting samples near the edge of a crystalline forest when the ground beneath her gave way. She tumbled into a deep ravine, her legs snapping on impact. Pain shot through her body as she tried to move, but the jagged rocks pinned her down. She activated her emergency beacon, but the dense mineral deposits in the area interfered with the signal. Hours passed, and the twin suns of X-427 began to set, casting long shadows over the ravine. Elara's strength was fading when she heard a soft, melodic hum. She looked up to see a Klyvarian standing at the edge of the ravine, their opalescent skin glowing faintly in the twilight. Without hesitation, the alien leaped down and began to carefully free her from the rocks. The Klyvarian's name was Zynara, a healer from a nearby village. Using a combination of herbal remedies and advanced technology, Zynara stabilized Elara's leg and carried her back to the village. Over the next few weeks, Zynara tended to Elara's injuries, teaching her about Klyvarian culture and traditions. Elara, in turn, shared stories of Earth and humanity. The two formed a deep bond, one that transcended language and species. The ritual of gratitude. One evening, as the twin moons of X-427 rose in the sky, Zynara led Elara to the center of the village. The Klyvarians had gathered in a circle, their luminous eyes fixed on Elara. Zynara began to speak, her voice a haunting melody that echoed through the night. "Elara Voss of Earth," Zynara said, her hands moving in intricate gestures. "You have been brought into our midst by fate. In our culture, to save a life is to bind it to your own. You owe me a debt of gratitude, and I owe you a debt of protection. This is the way of the Klyvarians." Elara nodded, unsure of what was happening but sensing the gravity of the moment. Zynara continued, "To express your gratitude, you must offer me a gift of great significance. This gift will symbolize the bond between us and ensure that our fates remain intertwined." Elara's mind raced. What could she possibly offer that would hold meaning for Zynara? She had nothing of value with her, save for her knowledge and her experiences. Then it hit her. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a small, worn notebook. It contained her personal observations and sketches of the Klyvarians, a record of her time among them. "This is my gift," Elara said, handing the notebook to Zynara. "It contains my thoughts, my feelings, and my understanding of your people. It is a piece of my heart." Zynara accepted the notebook with reverence, her eyes glowing brighter. "Your gift is accepted," she said. "But there is more to the ritual. To complete the bond, you must accept my proposal." Elara blinked in confusion. "Proposal?" Zynara's hands moved in a series of graceful gestures. "In our culture, the act of saving a life is also an act of love. By saving you, I have declared my intention to join my life with yours. Do you accept this bond? Elara's heart pounded in her chest. She had never considered the possibility of a relationship with an alien, let alone one bound by ancient traditions. But as she looked into Zynara's luminous eyes, she felt a connection that went beyond words. Zynara had saved her life, cared for her, and shown her kindness. In that moment, Elara knew her answer. "I accept," she said, her voice steady. The Klyvarians erupted into a chorus of melodic hums, their hands moving in unison to celebrate the bond. Zynara stepped forward and placed a hand on Elara's chest, over her heart. "Our fates are now intertwined," she said. "We are bound by gratitude, by love, and by the stars themselves." The challenges ahead. As the days turned into weeks, Elara struggled to adapt to her new role within Klyvarian society. The bond with Zynara brought her both joy and challenges. She was accepted by the villagers, but her human nature often clashed with their customs. The Klyvarians valued harmony and tradition above all else, while Elara was driven by curiosity and a desire to explore. One evening, as she sat with Zynara beneath the twin moons, Elara voiced her concerns. "I feel like I'm caught between two worlds," she said. "I want to honor our bond, but I also miss my life among the stars." Zynara's eyes softened. "The bond does not require you to abandon who you are," she said. "It is a connection, not a chain. You are free to explore, to learn, and to grow. But know that I will always be here, waiting for you." Elara's heart swelled with gratitude. Zynara's understanding and acceptance gave her the strength to embrace her new life. She continued her studies of Klyvarian culture, sharing her findings with the Eclipse and the wider scientific community. In doing so, she became a bridge between humanity and the Klyvarians, fostering understanding and cooperation. The ending, a new beginning. Years passed, and Elara's bond with Zynara only grew stronger. Together, they worked to build a future where humans and Klyvarians could coexist and learn from one another. Elara's gratitude had been a proposal, a declaration of love that transcended species and traditions. And in that love, she found a home among the stars. As she stood on the observation deck of the Eclipse, watching X-427 grow smaller in the distance, Elara felt a sense of peace. She was no longer just a human caught in alien traditions. She was a part of something greater, a bond that spanned the cosmos. And in the end, that was all that mattered.